A sad sight greeted rescue officers when they were called to a public animal park in Scotland in January 2014. Animals were suffering due to neglect. The findings were horrifying. One of the most heartbreaking was the case of Forest the Emu, a bird found in appalling conditions in a stable that was kept almost entirely in darkness. With no access to the company of other birds or enrichment of any kind, Forest developed the symptoms of sensory and social deprivation. When found, his ability to recognise or react to external stimulus was severely compromised. Specialist wildlife services were called in to evaluate the animals, and Forest was taken into temporary care. Staff immediately began to work with Forest to assess the extent of his problems and to make plans for his long-term future. He would need extensive rehabilitation, ongoing veterinary care and socialisation, and integration with other emus. Avian specialist Birdworld, a public animal park in Surrey, offered to help. In March, Forest made the long journey from Scotland to Surrey and saw other emus for the first time. 6 months later, Forest is revelling in the company of 2 female companions, and his new life has truly begun. He's become a firm favourite with staff, as keeper Paula Harper explains.
When we first got him, we put a lot of effort into trying to improve his condition. We put him on vitamin B injections to try and help with the bad behaviour that he'd done, and we tried as much as we could to get him on a diet that he really should be on, rather than the poor diet that he was with to begin with. And then we began to introduce him to the other emus that we've got here, and then eventually we introduced him to this paddock, which he absolutely loves now, and he's blended in really well with our 2 emus that we've got already. It's really important to us here at Birdworld not to forget about the minorities that are in the zoos already and in public collections that may be getting mistreated, and it's really important for us to make sure that we remember that those do get cared for, and that all the collection that we have in the zoo gets cared for properly, because we are helping the wild conservation.
Very often zoos are charged with looking after the conservation of threatened species, which is really important. We do lots of that. That's one of the reasons we exist. But we also like to look at individuals and individual stories. In this particular case, Forest had a really rough time as a young animal and really needed a home for life that's going to look after him and give him a good future.